Hey everybody, welcome to episode 73 of the Is That Normal podcast, and we are glad you're joining us.
Yeah, one of our biggest desires in doing this podcast is to be a resource to parents and connect with them and help them and maybe provide, some comfort as well as some ideas to help navigate those crazy times, particularly as your kids become teenagers and you're trying to raise them on into adulthood. Just try to help be with you through all of that. Yeah.
So in each episode, we give lots of ideas and encouragement on just pressing issues and just things that parents are dealing with. But we also want to connect outside of just these podcast episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we want to be a part of the conversation and be with you through this. And so we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to connect with you. We'd love to respond to questions or struggles you're dealing with. And so, there's lots of ways to connect with us. So any of the platforms you listen to our podcast on, so whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook or you're on our website, isthatnormal.org, or you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you're listening to it, you can comment to us through that and we'll respond. The channels that we spend a lot of time on in between episodes is our Facebook and our Instagram. So if you go and there's links to these in our notes page and on our website, if you go to our Facebook and our Instagram, those are great places to connect with us and see other content that we're providing.
And let's be honest, we know you're there anyway. You might as well check us out.
That's right. And if you're checking us out, let us know you're checking us out.
That's right.
Like it, give us a comment, shoot us a question. And you can also email us at connect@isthatnormal.org. And so anyway, there's lots of ways to connect. Really push you to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages. Those are some good ways to connect with us.
So today, this is going to be a fun one, I think. Let's talk about making moments that matter for our families.
So Randall, it's summertime, and and for me, summertime brings a lot of nostalgia. Summer vacation as a kid is like, it's like heaven. It's like the Holy Grail. It's like what we're waiting for all year, right? When we get summer vacation, and so what were some of your favorite summertime activities of the kids, things that you look forward to?
Well, I've mentioned this before, but we fished a lot. My dad had and it's fun to think back on now. He had this tiny boat that had no business being on Lake of the Ozarks, and we would take it out and go on Lake of the Ozarks and fish all night and stay overnight and come back at daylight, and so that was just a ton of fun. We always look forward to doing that. I had between all of my cousins, there were 3 girls, and I believe there were 11 of us boys or something crazy like that. Yeah. And my grandma lived in a 1-bedroom house that was tiny, and it wasn't unusual, and we didn't think there was anything strange about 8 or 9 of us boys just being in this little bitty tiny house playing and acting like wild banshees. And but man, we had so much fun doing that, and just playing outside and doing all of those things. But we just had we love go to the creek and swim and all of those types of summer activities that everybody loves. But we really just had a lot of fun as kids because we had so many of us cousins that were close to the same age, and so we got in a lot of trouble together.
Oh man, that's good. I grew up, the biggest part of my growing up years, I lived out in the country on a big farm that was next to my grandma's big farm that was next to another guy's farm that we helped work on. And so I just had so much space to roam and explore. And so, for me, summer was so cool that, if I could get my chores done quick, I was off exploring, walking through the woods, going to creeks. Yeah. And then it was wonderful because most of my cousins lived away, but on the summer, it was really normal. My dad was from a big family, and so there's lots of different cousins, and so there's usually somebody at grandma's house, and we were out exploring grandma's land or doing something together. So that was fun. And then also I love summer nights. I can just think of so many times we sat outside eating watermelon and spitting seeds and catching fireflies and just just enjoying being outside in the evenings. That was such fun times for me. So and really, I think it's so often those unstructured times that stand out to me the most, that were the most significant. There's events and trips and things like that happen, but so I think back, the things that pop out first is just those normal, mundane, being together kind of moments. And so whatever your things are that you enjoy doing, I think this summertime is such a strategic time as parents to create moments and memories with our kids.
Yeah. So let's maybe talk through what some of those things look like and how we can kind of carve out those moments.
Yeah. First of all, I think it takes making space. And, I know for me, increasingly in my life, I have to be more intentional about shutting off whatever projects I'm working on or whatever else is going on in life or issues I'm dealing with, and stopping and being present with my kids. Yeah. And I think that's, so that's when you get home from work at night, stopping and making sure you're present with your kids some point in the evening. It's on weekends, don't just do all of your to-do list without making sure you make some space in there to just be with your kids. Yeah. And so we got to make that space. And, and like I said, vacations are great. And I think they're important. And I think you should plan to take some trips, even if they're just day trips, plan some destination kind of things. Man, lots of cool stuff happen on road trips. And so that's good, but it doesn't have to be big. As we think about making moments this summer, it can be small things that you could do in half an hour, an hour, but making sure you make that space to do that. And, as you even try to think about what those things might be, something I'm challenged in, and I think as parents we need to be challenged in, is make sure it's something your kids enjoy. It's okay to bring them along on things that you enjoy sometimes, but also sometimes you need to go do things with them that they enjoy. I know my son, for his last birthday party, he planned this for a year. He said, on my birthday, I want to invite these friends. I want to go to the video game arcade in Springfield. I want to eat at this place, and I want to come home and watch this movie. And so we planned it. We did it. We went to the and so I took this group of preteen boys all over town and doing all this stuff, and they wanted to go get coffee. That was one of the stuff. I was like, yeah, let's go take 12-year-olds and get coffee and then have a sleepover.
That sounds like a great plan.
But but he'll never forget that. And it was something he wanted to do and he picked. So
yeah, and you talk about vacations are great, and they are, but yeah, those moments where, if I look back, the things that stand out to me are either the vacations where everything went wrong, but yet it was a great story and a great adventure. And when I hear your family talk about vacations, it's usually the the pop-up camper and the pouring down rain and the top wouldn't go up or down, and it's those moments. But sometimes we get so wrapped up in trying to create an experience that looks really awesome on Facebook or Instagram. But it's in those kind of messy moments that are sometimes unplanned, or when things just don't go the way at all that we thought they were going to, that some of the best memories are created. And I would say most of us, if we look back at our childhood, some of those are the best times that we had.
Yes, absolutely. And I think also in those moments, a couple things we need to be doing is one, consistently try to be a good asker and listener. When you have those moments, you're riding in the car, you're sitting over dinner, you're drinking coffee together, just take those moments, just ask about what's going on in their life, ask them what they're thinking about, ask them what they love, ask them what they're frustrated about, and then just listen. Try to use those moments to open up their heart and listen to what's going on in their life. And we talk about that a lot, and we've got some really good episodes if you that will link in the page notes if you want to go back and look at some good ways to ask some of those questions. And then also using those as discipleship moments. I'm really challenged as I read through the Gospels. Right now I'm reading through the book of John for the summer, and Jesus just was with people, but as he was with people, he used those as moments to teach them about God, to teach them about themselves, to teach them about what God wanted in their life. And so he used moments more than messages, from a pulpit, if you will, to teach and guide. And we need to do the same thing for our kids. And so as we're together and we got these moments, it's really good time to say, hey, this reminds me that God is a God of love, or God is a God of perfection, or God is holy. He's bigger and beyond who we are in the natural world. And, it's those times to reflect that. And it's also times to reflect, as we have interactions with each other and people, that this is the way God calls us to act and react with people. This is his principles. And so it's a really good time for us to do that as we spend time with our kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of those be like things, the things that we really want to pass on to our kids and help them to understand when it talks about, our interaction with Christ and what that looks like.
Yeah. So several podcasts ago, a couple months ago, we highlighted a book on family discipleship by Matt Chandler and Adam Griffin, and in that they've got this really cool set of bullet point lists of things that we need to be instilling in our kids' lives. And so I would again recommend grabbing that book and looking through those lists. That's a really good guide. But some of the things I think about often is we need to remind our kids all the time about God's goodness and his set apartness, and that we fall short of that, but that he has provided this grace through us for us through Jesus. Yeah. And so we I think our culture, just our human nature, is we always want to strive to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and be good people and try harder and work harder and gain and earn. But we can't earn that. We can't earn God's goodness. We can't earn God's favor. The only way it says that we can please God is through our faith. That's the only way. And so helping them see how good God is, and how is only through trusting the fact that Jesus died on the cross for us that we have a hope of being right in God's eyes. And so that's just a principle. We just have to always be talking about that with our kids. We live in such this competition society. You mentioned Instagram vacations. There's always this fear of missing out, fear of not being enough. And we just got to keep instilling God's the reality of our sin, but the awesomeness of God's grace in that. And so that has to always be before kids. But I think also it's really good to let them know that, but once we've put our faith in Christ, he wants us to live a better way. He has a better plan for us than we have for ourselves. And, I was talking to him about the importance of kindness and grace and patience and honesty and humility and integrity, and just modeling those things as we have these moments of how to be those kind of people. Yeah. Not because we're earning anything, but because God has given us everything. We respond by trusting him. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, a fun question. What's maybe some of your favorite moments that you've had with your family?
Yeah. I'll share some that are really recent from this summer in a minute. But my favorite thing that I get to ever say ever is, hey, remember that trip we took to Florida when I had to do a tune-up job on my truck in the parking lot of a Piggly Wiggly?
Yes.
Man, who gets to say
That's
that,
great.
right?
Yeah.
And my family is back in the camper eating sandwiches, and I'm perched up inside the compartment, the hood compartment, and working on my truck. That's a great story.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So love that kind of stuff. But yeah, we like I said, we can go do fun things. We're gonna go on a couple of road trips this summer, and that's gonna be fun. But for us, a lot of times it's, we just spent the last couple of weeks together as a family putting together a puzzle. We just set it out on the dining room table, and every once in a while when we walk by it, 2 or 3 of us stop and we, spend 15 or 20 minutes putting pieces together. And it's just fun to have a shared thing that we kind of all are pulled together. Yeah. We like to go and do ice cream runs. Hey, let's go and grab some ice cream together. We love doing that kind of thing. We like just taking mini road trips. Hey, let's just go drive to Bennett Springs Park, or let's go drive to Tonka today. And we don't have to spend all day. Let's just go and make it a short trip. And just creating a space where we're together and we're separate from our work. I think that's really important. And not that work's not great. We've had wonderful times of working in gardens together and cutting wood together and doing some of those kind of things. And those are great moments too. And you need both of those things. But just to prioritize unstructured time with your kids is so important. Love doing that. And then another fun thing that I do is, as my kids get older, get special things I do with kids is kind of rites of passage, which is another thing we've talked about. I've got a late night movie club, so we watch movies that are some of my favorite films, but that have some maybe more just more adult concepts that young kids aren't going to want to watch or whatever. And so we watch those together and talk about life together. And then as the kids get even a little older, we we've graduated them into about once or twice a year. I take them to a concert because we love music at our house, and so this year I'm taking 4 of my kids to a concert this summer. My oldest 4, so that's the youngest 2's first time going to a concert like that.
Very cool.
So it'll be fun. So
Yeah.
just love doing that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's good stuff.
And like I said, we'd love to hear what some of
Yeah.
the families that are listening are doing. We made that post a few weeks ago, and we had a couple of posts talking about how road trips are so important, and there were some QT cups in the picture that they sent, so that I know there's a story behind that. And then making snow cone runs. Man, that made me think. I have not had a snow cone in a long time. I'm probably gonna have to go find a snow cone. And then just the other day, after I saw that post, David Crowder, who's a Christian musician that I follow on social media, he made a post. It was like, I don't know, is this grid of all these like snack treats, and he's like, ice cream truck, which thing are you picking? And snow cone was on there.
I saw that.
Snow cone, man. Today I want a snow cone, so I'm gonna have to go find a snow cone.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, we'd love to see some pictures and hear some stories of what things you guys are doing to make moments this summer as we just be intentional about investing in our kids. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up today, our 2 takeaways. The first is just to make some time and be intentional, make some space for some moments, whether that looks like a full-blown family vacation, or whether that looks like just taking a few minutes out of your day, on a Saturday or sometime to go to Bennett Springs, or to go somewhere close by, or just be together and do something. And so just being intentional and carving out some space for those. And then the second thing is, share your adventures with us. We want to know what you guys are doing. I mean, we might want to steal your ideas. So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, or at least highlight them. Yeah,
that's right.
People know.
So, so hop up. That sounds a lot better than steal them. But we'll give you recognition.
We're teaching integrity.
Right. But yeah, so share those with us on Facebook, Instagram. You can always contact us through email and isthatnormal.org. But we would love to hear what you guys are doing this summer.
Absolutely. All right. Be abnormal.